new episode of the Riff Rundown. I hope this is finding you and yours doing well today. My name is Angela Petrilli. I am here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're gonna have a ton of fun today. We're gonna be learning I Shot the Sheriff, written by Bob Marley, but we're gonna do it in the stylings of Mr. Eric Clapton. So have your electric guitar in standard tuning for this one today. And as always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really does help the cause. Clicking that like button really helps with the algorithm and gets people finding these lessons, which is just so lovely. Here to help a lot of people learn how to play music. So click that like button, okay? It helps the cause. And while you are there, if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including these awesome Fishman Fluence pickups that I have in my Strat today, go ahead and click the link in the video description below. And while you're there, many of you ask, Angela, how can I support you? You do all this cool stuff on YouTube. I just started a Patreon page, so you can go there, and it's just a blast. We just have so much fun, and it's a beautiful extension of what we do here on the Riff Rundown. So be sure to check that out while you're there. I would really appreciate it. All right, so for this lesson today, we're gonna need an electric guitar, and we're gonna need it in standard tuning. And if you have a Strat, extra gold sticker for you today. All right, but any electric guitar will do. So as always, I like to ask a question before you get started. So please let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite Bob Marley song and your favorite Eric Clapton song. So those are the two things, or the three things that I want to know in today's lesson. So get nice and cozy, electric guitar, standard tuning. Really glad you're here. Here is I Shot the Sheriff by Bob Marley in the stylings of Mr. Eric Clapton. Here we go. Fun song. Let's get to it. Really great riffs, really great chords. As you can tell here, only 4 chords in this song, and it is a ton of fun. So what we're gonna do here, we start with a chorus. So this song goes from chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, and it's really easy. Not a lot to remember too, which is lovely for us, okay? So what we're gonna do here is for the chorus, we're gonna do 2 chords. We're gonna do a G minor 7 or a G minor. Both sound awesome, or you can do a C minor 7. So we've got G minor to a C minor 7. So let me show you those. So if we want to do here, for a G minor, which is what sounds like Clapton is doing here, you're going to get your first finger, placing that across the 3rd fret of the G string, B string, and the high E string. So the notes that we're looking for here in this G minor, okay, it's the 1 flat 3 5. So we have G, B flat, and D respectively. So that's the chord. Now, if you wanted to add, say, your thumb, Clapton does this a lot, you can go ahead and wrap your thumb around the 3rd fret of the low E string. There's a G note there. So you can do that and have this G minor triad there. If you want to make it even jazzier, as I mentioned previously, you can make this a G minor 7 too. All you would do is we're going to include an F note. Okay, so we're going to add an F note. That happens to be the 3rd fret of the D string. So gives it a little jazzier edge if you'd like. All 3 of these chord versions will work, okay? So we've got G minor, or a G minor 7. Okay, you can place your thumb up top there if you'd like. So, and there's that root of G. Okay, so what we can do here is the strumming pattern. I'm going to do the most absolutely basic one to get you started. I encourage you guys, listen to the original track. You'll see how the groove will change a little bit in those verses and as the chorus and verses go on in the song. But I'm going to give you just a basic strumming pattern to keep you good and in the pocket. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go down, up, down, and that'll sound like this. Now, with this down, up, okay, you're gonna lightly mute with this part of your hand on those strings. So, lightly press, notice how it's not aggressive, and then give it another downward stroke. So, and I'm just doing this with the G minor triad. We're keeping it nice and simple here, folks. want to do the G minor 7 version, just lift that finger up, put it on the F note. Okay. Me personally, I think the G minor is pretty rad. So what we're going to do there, now we're going to level it up. Okay. I'm going to place my thumb here. I'm going to play the low note and include that on top of everything. So low G note, just like that. Pretty cool stuff. From there, we're going to go to a C minor 7. It's going to be in the same general area here. First finger, placing it across the bottom 5 strings. Tip of your first finger should be on the C note, which is our root, 3rd fret of the A string. You're going to get your second finger here, placing that on the E flat, 4th fret of the B string, and your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D string, which is G. Strum from the A string downward. Lovely, beautiful jazz chord, yes. Okay, same strumming pattern applies here. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Same strumming pattern applies here. There we go. Okay, let's do that again. Optional to add the root or not. I think it's kind of cool, but I'll leave it up to you. Again, I plant the seeds with these riff rundowns. Here we go, C minor 7 to our G minor. And we're gonna do that for 2 bars. So here's the whole chorus. G minor 7, G minor, 1 bar, C minor 7, 1 bar, back to G minor, 2 bars. So here we go. Let's repeat that. G minor. C minor 7. G minor. And again, most basic strumming pattern here to get you started in establishing a really great groove on this song. There is a little tiny whisper of a riff in this chorus. Okay, we start off the song with the chorus. All it is a little F to G, so we hit F twice, 3rd fret of the D string. Resolve, 5th fret of the D string is G. And a little Clapton vibrato never hurt anybody. Just like that. So for context, I'll try to play both parts. Here we go. Back to that G minor. So, optional to include that riff. It is kind of cool if you're playing with others, you know, kind of choose who's going to do the riff and who's going to do the chords. Okay, fun stuff. Just wanted to include that in there. It's pretty neat. So, as far as the verse goes, we have 3 chords here. One of them we already know, which is nice. So, we're going to go from E flat to D minor 7 back to G minor. And this whole section is going to be repeated 5 times. Now, I'll show you one version, and then I'll show you a secondary version that I noticed that Clapton does when he plays this live too. All right, so it's always good to learn different inversions of the chords, helps us build our musical syntax, which is always lovely. All right, so we're going to go to E flat. We're going to play this chord in this way. So we're going to do here, and this is the first way that we're going to play this, okay? First finger, place that across the A string all the way through the high E string at the 6th fret. That's where A flat lives, 6th fret of the A string, okay? That's where E flat lives, right there. From there, okay, and building this E flat chord, we're going to get our 3rd finger, placing it across, yes, 3 strings. I know, but you can do this, okay? 8th fret of the D string, G string, and the B string. Notice how you cannot see my thumb. If I move this thumb up, notice how the chord begins to shrivel. We do not want that. So to allow the fingers to span the way we need to, place that thumb in the back of the neck, okay? It helps a lot. I know bar chords are tough for some of us, but keep going. You will be able to do them, I promise, okay? So we've got that there. We have our 2nd and 4th finger free. We will use them in a moment, trust me. So we're going to maintain the same basic strumming pattern. Again, once this feels comfy to you, go and listen to the track and hear all the really cool ways that they strum out these chords. It's a lot of fun, but we're just going to do that down, up, down here for this E flat. Just like that. Let's do this a couple times here. Let's get cozy with this bar chord. Just like that, nice and simple, okay? From there, we're gonna go to D minor 7. From watching live videos of Clapton, I am fairly certain this is how he's playing this chord. He is not playing the full bar chord of his D minor 7, okay? What he's doing here, as far as what I can tell, okay, is he's placing his first finger across the 5th fret of the G string, B string, and high E string, okay? The high E string we play sometimes, okay? You're gonna get your 3rd finger here, placing that on the 7th fret of the D string, so that's an A note, and then our middle finger is going on the 6th fret of the B string, which is F. So we've got this. This is a partial, like, D minor 7 chord, okay? It's a little itty bitty version of it. Okay, so it looks and sounds like that. So we go from E flat, move that 3rd finger back 1 fret to the 7th fret of that D string, get the 1st finger and 2nd finger in position, and that's how we get there. To me, that's most comfortable, okay, is moving that 3rd finger to help us get to that next chord. All right, so that's what's happening there. E flat, D minor 7. Now, if you want to play the full bar chord, all you got to do, see that little movement I did? 1st finger, lift it up, 5th fret of the A string. Guess what? That's where D lives. Strum all 5 strings. You want to get a little jazzier with it? Go ahead and do that. It's really beautiful. Both ways are great. Okay, this is the way it looks like Clapton's doing it. So here we go. Okay, pretty good stuff. From there, we go to G minor, but here's how I want you to play it. I want your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D string. That's another G note right there. And notice how my 1st finger is playing that triad, that G, B flat, and D right here at the 3rd fret of the G string through the high E string. It slides, this progression of chords, it feels really good. It slides nicely across the fretboard. So here we go. See how that 3rd finger leads? I'll do that again. Now let's include the strumming pattern. Again. Let's do it again. Here, let's do that. There we go. We don't want an A minor. We want a D minor 7. Okay, to that G minor. It was too much in the groove, man. Good stuff. So that's what's happening there. So for context, let's go ahead and do a chorus and let's do a verse. Again, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to click the like button wherever it is, somewhere over here. It really does help the cause with the algorithm. So definitely appreciate it. So here we go. Chorus G minor to C minor 7. Here we go. Into our verse. Here we go. E flat. Probably the most iconic part of the song comes next, which is that beautiful, awesome riff, which comes from a G minor pentatonic scale. Yay, that sounds like this. Super fun and easy to play, I promise. And you're learning a scale as you do this, so this is lovely. So I'll show you, oh gosh, I forgot to show you the other part of the verse. Let me do that first. I got ahead of myself. I was too excited to play the riff. So another version of playing that verse, I noticed that Clapton, he will play the E flat like this sometimes. So we know how to play a D major chord, right? So we know that in theory, D and E flat are a half step away from each other. So check this out. Play this D chord and move it up a half step. That is going to get you all the notes that you need, E flat, G, and B flat, to play that E flat major chord. So before I get into the riff, I will get there, I promise. I just want to show you this one again. I'm building your musical syntax. This is important stuff. Okay, we're gonna play an E flat this way. So what we can do here, strum it the same exact way. So E flat, first finger should be on the 3rd fret of the G string, and second finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then third finger's on the 4th fret of the B string. Okay, so check this out. So we have E flat. Now we have the D minor 7 here. Back to G minor. A cool way to play it if you don't want to play the bar chord. So check it out. I'll play it again. Sounds a little bit different than if we did the E flat as a bar chord here. Again, options. I almost forgot how to do that, or I almost forgot to show you guys, so really important. Again, E flat or E flat here. Up to you, whichever one you like better. They both sound great. So now we get to the riff. So here's the riff again, slowly. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. We'll break it up in a couple parts. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna start with the G note on the 5th fret of the D string. Then we're gonna go to F on the 3rd fret of that D string. So G to F. Now we're gonna go from C to D. So 5th fret of the A string to 3rd fret of the A string. So we've got G, F, D, C. Okay, first finger and third finger. Just like that. Let's do that again. And don't forget, alternate picking with that strumming hand. Let's do that again. From here, we're gonna reach with our pinky finger, B flat, 6th fret of the E string. Let's do that in context. Now notice my thumb, back of the neck. So we can do that reach nice and clean. Do that again. Now notice how my first finger is already on that C note, okay, 3rd fret of the A string. We're gonna hammer on, so strike the A string one time. We're gonna hammer on to that D note, okay, 5th fret. So notice, I only struck the string one time. Let's do that again in context, slowly. Again. From there, we're gonna go back to our C note, to B flat, 1st fret of the A string, to G, 3rd fret of the E string, to resolve. Okay, let's do that whole thing nice and slowly. That's the riff. It's great. Here we go. Again. Once more. And that's the line. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and play this in context, chorus, verse, and at the end of that verse we have that riff. Okay, so follow along if you can. Always, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps the cause. And check out all the cool Fishman gear. Links in the bio. Here we go. From the chorus. Going into our verse, E flat. Let's do the inversion of E flat. Here comes the riff. And then that repeats and repeats and repeats. Now, keep this in mind too, something kind of cool. You guys know I like pivot points. Something I want to mention here. That final chord is a G minor before we get into the riff, right? But notice, we are playing this G minor chord. Notice my third finger. It's already on that G note. So really sets you up beautifully to play that riff at the end of that verse, okay? Something to keep in mind. So that's cool. Now, that's the riff. That's where Clapton plays it. Say you're playing in a band and it's like, hey, I want to play that somewhere else. Well, G, B flat, C, D, and F, they all live other places too on the fretboard. So let me show you one more place where you can play this riff. Okay, this is optional. Not sure if they do this on the recording. They may do it live, but it's good to know. And again, really great to learn your notes along the fretboard and learning this in a different spot. So kind of neat. So now we're going to play G at the 8th fret of the B string to F, 6th fret of the B string. Now we're going to play D, okay, right here on the 7th fret of the G string to C, 5th fret. Let's do that together, a little slower. Reaching for our B flat, 8th fret of the D string. Hammer on C to D, 5th fret to 7th fret G string. Back to C, B flat, 3rd fret of the G string. Resolving at G, 5th fret D string. Let's play that without the commentary. Here we go, nice and slow. Want to do a little bit of a slur? Not too much though. Bending downwards on that B flat can be kind of cool. Let's do that again. Now for context, let's do the low one into the high one. High version. Right? So that's what's happening there, and that's the entire song. That's what's happening with that song. So let's go through one more time. We'll do a chorus, verse, riff. We'll repeat that twice, and then I will give you a scale that you can use to solo over this. All right, and that'll be the lesson for today. So here we go, chorus from the top. Into our verse. Into a riff. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, chorus. One more time. Verse. Let's do the inversion of E flat. once more. Riff. Let's do the high version. So there it is. So that's the song. So we have a few more minutes here, and I don't always do this, but I think this would be kind of cool, particularly for this song, because there's so much room for soloing and for playing really cool lines. So I'm going to show you guys how to play a G minor pentatonic. So if you are thinking, what scale can I use? I'm playing with a band, I'm playing with friends, or around a campfire, like, what's the scale I can use? This is the one you can use. So G minor pentatonic, what are the notes that are in here? It is G, B flat, C, D, and F. Okay, if we're thinking in terms of calling numbers, it's going to be 1 flat, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. Okay, so how we play it, and there's many different positions, but I'm going to show you just the first one, just to, again, to get you started, okay? So we've got G here, 3rd fret of the E string. We're going to reach over with our pinky, B flat, 6th fret of that E string, to C, 3rd fret, A string, to D, 5th fret, to F, 3rd fret, D string, resolving at G, 5th fret of the D string. So again, just like that. Let's go backwards. Hear the riff in there? See how it's a variation of that. Some notes are just tweaked, but see how it comes from the G minor pentatonic. Pretty cool stuff. So that's the first part. Now to continue with this scale, there's G, 5th fret, D string. There's B flat, 3rd fret, G string. To C, 5th fret. To D, 3rd fret, B string. B is in boy. The note is D. D is in dog. To F, 6th fret, B string. To G, 3rd fret, high E string. And for good measure, because we like B flat, we're going to include that too. 6th fret, E string. So there it is. So the whole thing sounds like this. To keep this in mind too. That's the pattern, but think about the notes you are playing. Call them out. Don't just do the fret markers, okay? Think about the notes. Instead of going 3, 6, 3, 5, think about this. G, B flat, C, D. It's gonna do you a lot of good, I promise. It's great to learn the fretboard, guys. That's why I call out the notes in these chords. Super, super important. Again, it allows you to speak to other musicians who aren't just guitar players, okay? So learning the speak and learning the lingo and understanding the fretboard is oh so important. So I really try and really let you guys know that here on the Riff Rundown. So folks, that is the song. So just to kind of, let's see, we got a little bit of time. I'll show you, I'm gonna try and play both parts with a G minor pentatonic over the chorus. So it'd be something like this. So again, I'm picking notes out of that G minor pentatonic and applying them over this. Now, I don't have a looper, that's why I did both parts, but I encourage you, use a looper on this. It's gonna sound great. Use a G minor pentatonic scale. Think about the notes you're playing. It's all good stuff. Again, that's the tune. Such a fun one. As always, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these week after week, and most certainly, I want to thank all of you. Thanks for tuning in week after week. Thank you for being so kind to one another in the comments. I love the beautiful community we've built. Again, if you want to support me, visit my Patreon page. We have a lot of fun there. It's such a blast. So if you want to support me, go there. And as always, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It really does help the cause of the algorithm and getting these lessons out there, again, just to help more people. It's so much fun. As always, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. Be well.